bankruptcy that I went along with them not allowing my bankruptcy. And I don't remember the details exactly what it put it to me to release my homestead, which I ended up signing off on my homestead so that they could pay the creditors.
Right. I do remember the details. The stipulation says that in exchange for them not doing it through an adversarial process, waiving your homestead or voiding your homestead and denying the discharge, that you agree to do those two things. You agree to waive your homestead and deny the discharge and sell your home.
Correct. Listen to me for a minute. What they do is they come in there with the three-piece suits on or the high heels and the dresses, whether they be male whores or female whores of the federal government. They come in there and they intimidate people, especially the elderly. I mean, listen to me. They have one rule. That rule is to take and destroy the elderly. They have a second rule, and that rule is to enslave people that are my age and your age. You understand? But the problem is guess what? There's a couple of us, or a few of us, that say, you know what, forget about it. You might as well stick it where the sun don't shine, because we will not fall, we will not falter, we will not give up, nor will we back up in terms of telling you where you can stick it. Let's listen.
Right. I do remember the details. The stipulation says that in exchange for them not doing it through an adversarial process, waiving your homestead or voiding your homestead and denying the discharge, that you agree to do those two things. You agree to waive your homestead and deny the discharge and sell your home. And so you really got nothing out of it, except they told you, well, if you don't do it this way, we'll eat up all of it with attorney's fees and costs, and in the end, you want it penniless.
Let me ask Ren this. Ren, are they preying on other elderly folks in your area? Because I've seen a pattern nationwide of shaking down and getting people to sign documents they don't understand here in this sickening country we live in, where they Time Magazine and Newsweek glorify euthanizing people like you. Do you know other veterans or folks in your area being preyed on?
No, I don't. Not as such. I've heard it as I've watched different things on the computer. I've read different things like in Florida and other places where they're doing not the exact same thing, but they are taking homes away from the veterans and putting them out in the street. I don't know what's going on. It's terrible, all over the United States.
How long do you have till they make you exhume your wife and move off your property?
They have not sent me a notice in the mail, but at that hearing on the 12th that I couldn't be to, they said I had to move her off in 30 days' time.
So you're in the hospital and you sent that in to the judge. Who is this judge? Do we know, Stuart, who this judge is?
Yes, his last name is Kirshner. He's the federal judge for Montana for bankruptcy.
The doctor sent in an affidavit to the judge that it was impossible for me to leave the hospital. And I believe the way I heard it, the attorney for the veteran there at Fort Harrison also contacted the judge and told him I couldn't be there. The judge says it doesn't matter. It just went ahead with the trial without me there. I had this lady that's really been helping me, Roxanne.
Now, the judge says it don't matter. Like I told you, go ahead with the trial. Don't matter about the cancer, the prostate cancer. It does not matter about anything, because listen to me. I'm going to be plain and simple, okay? This piece of garbage judge said I want to do what I want to do. And there ain't nobody going to stop me. See? And he went ahead and did what he wanted to do. And by the way, in the back room at the conference table, yeah, exactly, Cindy. Bingo! Yeah, I was fitting to get to that. Bingo, bingo, bingo. Same cotton-picking bankruptcy judge over Montana bankruptcy court did the same thing to John Stokes and took the radio station. This is the same piece of garbage, yeah, that did what he did to John Stokes is doing this to this World War II veteran. Yeah. I got to tell you, I got to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, now, I've got 9 minutes. Now, I want to sit back for a minute, or maybe I ought to stand up. I don't know. My blood pressure's up about this one. I'm going to ask myself, listen to me, I'm going to ask myself real quick, because I have all day long, okay? I am going to find out. I'm going to find out just how tough these so-called liberty lovers, these patriots in this valley are in terms of this guy. Oh, and by the way, now, there was, well, I'll put it to you like this. There is the best friend I have on the earth that sent some donation, okay, for the ministry, and I am subject to, again, have another conversation today, and we'll have to agree between each other, because it belongs to the Creator, the money does. Do I spend the fuel money and go down there? Because everything in me says yes. Okay? Now, we're going to find, absolutely, we're going to find out, listen to me, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to find out just how tough the Liberty Bell is. We're going to find, what I mean by that, I'm not being ugly. Okay, we're going to find out just how real the Liberty Bell is here in Flathead County. We're going to find out just how real the Chuck Baldwin movement here in Flathead County is. We're going to find out just how real the so-called survivalist patriot groups are here in Montana. Okay? You understand? Because I want to know what they plan on doing about this situation. Now, and here's what I'm going to do. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to have my video camera with me. I'm going to take that trip, okay? I'm going to go down there to the man's property. I'm going to go down there to the wife's grave, okay? I'm gonna make the phone calls, nice phone calls, and say, hey, do you want to go down there? Do you want to be involved with an ancestor of ours that deserves to be protected? Or do you want to sit here in this flippin' valley and do nothing as you've always done except bump your gums and run your mouth about freedom and patriotism and about toting your stupid little weapons on your hip and all that? But guess what? We're going to find out, because this is something that I believe in my heart, okay? I believe in my heart that since I have the wherewithal to be able to go there, that I should. I really believe, and I'm talking about in humility and being kind, but I believe that does not this man deserve the Liberty Bell movement? Does he not deserve the Patriot movement? I mean, what the heck? This is what I'm getting at here, okay? And I know a lot of people. I've talked to a lot of people in this valley, ladies and gentlemen. But the reason I sit here by myself in this garage is that I find out that most of them, they will either want something or they don't want to do nothing other than run their mouth and make ranks to do nothing, okay? They want to create themselves as generals or lieutenants or whatever, but yet at the same time, they don't want to do anything. When the rubber meets the road, guess what? Forget about it. You know? And y'all need to pray for this gentleman. He's lost his wife, and only he knows how many years they were married. Actually, I don't know how many years they were married, but obviously it was his only wife. And she's in the backyard, and I know that her spirit and soul have returned to the Lord that gave it, but at the same time, he's got to dig the woman's body up and move it. Okay? We're going to find out, okay? In this valley, we're going to find out, and I'm going to do it. I'll make you that oath and that promise. We're going to find out just how many flipping people are who they say they are, or do they portray themselves as being the best thing next to ice cream, as long as you don't need them to jump out of the jar and get in the bowl? I don't know. You tell me. I'm finna find out. I want to thank y'all, and I know I ain't got the 4 minutes left. I can go further than that. I want to thank y'all for listening to what I'm saying, because when do we finally start doing something? When do we, other than, and that's why I quit going to the meetings. Because when the men meet, they pat each other on the butt and say, oh, it's a great job, this, that, and other. They have their campfire meetings, they do all this